Joining us now is Mr. Michael Manahan. Michael Manahan is a co-founder of something called the Polk Institute. Mike, welcome back to the program.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to be with you, Don.
Well, you're one of the most qualified people I know. You're a former public company CFO. You're a published author on financing companies. You're a college professor of finance. Now you have something called the Polk Institute, which is helping teach entrepreneurial skills to minorities. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you talk about different things you get involved with in your life, and some of them, it's a paycheck, what the heck, but some things you really get excited about. And I am excited about the Polk Institute. We are a nonprofit, was founded with a colleague of mine, Professor Gary Polk. He's a Black professor and businessman. And our goal really is to teach entrepreneurship to as Gary likes to say, Black and brown folks, but not exclusively to Black and brown folks. Everybody is welcome, but the whole idea is to do more than just teach entrepreneurship. I mean, you can go to school, you can get a bachelor's degree with a concentration in entrepreneurship, get a master's in entrepreneurship, but then what? Our program, you not only get the education, it's a one-year program, where you get 10 courses in all aspects of entrepreneurship. But then once you're finished, we match you up with business experts, attorneys, CPAs, logistics people, whatever you need to help you get your business launched. And we also, no guarantees, of course, but attempt to introduce you to potential funding sources that could help you launch the business.
Well, it's kind of interesting because you can learn a lot of things in school, but a lot of these things you're talking about, funding companies, running companies, having entrepreneurial skills, that comes from usually the school of hard knocks.
Yeah, so much. And that's the nice thing. All of our professors, use the word professors broadly, are practitioners. None of them are PhDs who've spent their entire career at a university. Some of them have PhDs, but they all have robust careers in business. They've got the experience. The other nice thing is we like to think of our program as delivering a master's level program in entrepreneurship, but guess what the cost is?
I would just say
zero. Our students don't pay anything. So instead of coming out with, a master's degree in entrepreneurship and owing $150,000 in student debt, our students come out with no debt because we raise money from corporations and from foundations to finance our educational / training institute.
So it's truly people like yourself who've been successful in business, and now basically you're attempting to give back.
Yeah, it's giving back, number one, but I think as importantly, the reality is, I'm sorry what other people say, but the reality is taking money from Bill Gates and giving it to whoever is not a solution to close the wealth gap, to close the income gap. We can close the wealth and the income gap by getting people to own businesses. You see, the difference is you go work for the government, great, you have a nice paying job, you have a pension, but when you die, there's nothing left. But if you own a business, you've got something that you can pass on to the next generation, or you can sell and pass the money on to the next generation. And I think one of the greatest things we can do to solve this wealth gap that gets talked about all the time is encourage people who might not be thinking they can do it, to encourage them and tell them, yes, you can do it. You can go out, you can start a business, you can work in it for 20 or 30 years, and when you retire, you can have a company that's worth 5, 10, 15, 20, $30 million.
It's a noble cause, Michael.
I like to think so. And of course, would hope any of your listeners, your audience would reach out to us. It's the Polk Institute Foundation. You can Google us. We are looking not only for donors, but also people who might want to be instructors or mentors. and also for students. And by the way, you don't have to be a young person. Our oldest student, we launched our first cohort in February. Our oldest student is a Black lady from Atlanta. She's 63 years old.
Now, Michael, what are some of the biggest mistakes that novice business people make that you try to teach your students to guard against?
You know, the list is, it's almost never ending. But a couple of things that I see all the time is underestimating the time it is going to take to implement and get your business going. There's a lot of moving pieces. You know, you need staff, you need resources, you need relationships, and none of these things can be done quickly. So you've got to give it time. Another thing is underestimating the cost of deploying your business. It's, you know, I look at business plans and I see somebody in year 3, they say they're going to do, you know, $10 million in revenue, and they've got 4 employees. I don't know of a business that can do 10 million in revenue with 4 employees. I know businesses that are doing 500,000 in revenue who have 15 employees. So it's underestimating the manpower needed to make it happen. Those are just 2 simple things. And the final one that I see is, I know you have to be a little bit stubborn and bullheaded to be an entrepreneur, but you also have to learn to listen. You don't have all the answers. Listen to the people who have already been in the trenches, who've made the mistakes. And that is one of the most valuable lessons I think entrepreneurs can learn, is listen to people who've done it before.
And of course, you folks offer a mentorship program after graduation, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, those mentors change depending upon the nature of your business. But we have a host of very experienced people who want to help. And we tell them you're only supposed to give the, you know, the entrepreneur, you know, 2 or 3 hours a month. I know some of these mentors give the entrepreneurs 15 or 20 hours a month to help them get their business up and running and to help them be successful.
Well, Michael, you know, you and I have been friends for about 20 years. I'm very proud of you for undertaking this great effort. It's a wonderful, noble cause. Again, the Polk Institute, what's the website again?
It's polk-ise.org. So polk-ise.org. All right, but I'm sure if you just Google Polk Institute, you'll find it.
Once again, Mike Manahan, co-founder of Polk Institute. Mike, thanks so much for being on the program. Great thing you're doing.
Well, Don, thank you so much for helping me share what I think is just one of the greatest things I've ever been involved with.